Hi everybody, it's David Porter, and today I want to talk about uncommon or obscure drugs of abuse. There are the well-known drugs, cocaine, amphetamine, methamphetamine, crack, cannabis, LSD, psilocybin mushrooms, ethanol, nicotine, caffeine, opiates, of course, benzos. Those are all pretty well known. There are some obscure, uncommon things out there that you should know about. If you are a drug and alcohol counselor in LADC, or working towards that credential, or you otherwise work in behavioral health care, law enforcement, corrections, emergency medicine, you will encounter these from time to time. So here is a quick overview of some of the more common obscure atypical substances, and yes, I know what a contradiction that is. You have bath salts, and these are not the scented Epsom salts that you pour in your bathtub to soothe aching muscles. Bath salts that's just the name. It's the same as pot and grass mean cannabis, but it can also refer to something you make soup in, or what grows on your lawn. So bath salts. Bath salts are any combination of up to 20 different psychedelic analog molecules. When someone purchases a quantity of bath salts, and what do they look like? Crystalline, come in a wide variety of colors, can be large or small grains. It may have the appearance of kosher salt, or it may have the appearance of small pieces of rock salt. And again, it can be in any color. Bath salts are not a single drug. The important thing to remember, they can be any combination of up to 20 different substances. These 20 different substances are chemically related enough where the effects are going to be similar, and the primary effects are both psychedelic. It's going to cause altered perception, and that of a central nervous system stimulant. It's going to increase the activity of the central nervous system, put someone in a state of sympathetic arousal or fight, flight, freeze. You are there's also, and here's the problem with these obscure substances, not enough people do them where a great deal of information is known about them, or there's contradictory information or misinformation. There are many anecdotal reports of bath salts producing a state of frenzy, delirium, psychotic state, and violence, although that's inconclusive and unclear. What's the difference between inconclusive and unclear? I don't know. The thing to know about bath salts, once again, is combination psychedelic, central nervous system stimulant, not a single drug, up to 20 different drugs put together. Another one is crocodile. Why anyone would want to use this stuff is beyond me. Crocodile is an opiate. It is a weak opiate, codeine, which has been treated with other chemicals, which include gasoline, red phosphorus, and iodine. Yeah, what could go wrong? Well, here's what can go wrong. This stuff is apparently as stronger, many times stronger than morphine. Better isn't really a good word. Stronger, more potent than many street available grades of heroin. And it gives the user a very intense euphoric high. Similar to injecting opiates, an orgasmic initial rush, followed by several hours of a very relaxed, peaceful, blissed out feeling. It's highly addictive. It creates a dopamine reward chain. Boy, that was good. Don't forget, go get more. Behavior which is rewarding tends to be repeated. Chemical substances are especially rewarding because they act directly or indirectly on the dopaminergic system. Feels good, cements that memory of the good feeling into your brain, and it produces a strong desire, craving, compulsion to repeat the behavior and get that initial pleasurable response. Crocodile has a very disturbing side effect, and go ahead and Google crocodile images and you'll see what I mean. Crocodile is, yes, I don't know if this is exactly accurate. I've heard it's Russian for the crocodile, of course the big, the big reptile, big mouthful of teeth and long tail. The reason it's called crocodile is the injection site. If it's injected into a shot directly into a vein, can also be snorted. The administration site is going to very rapidly, the skin, the tissue is going to rapidly take on a hard, scaly appearance. And if the person continues using, eventually it will cause, and I'm unclear exactly what's happening, whether it's deep tissue necrosis, which means tissue death, the skin fat, subcutaneous fat and muscle will rot, or whether we're getting deep chemical burns. Either way, the results are not pretty. It basically eats your soft tissue, your flesh, right down to the bone. Typically, that's going to result in severe infection, gangrene, and amputation. Why would you use a drug that would do this? This is addiction. This is addict psychology. It won't happen to me. It only happens to other people. I know what I'm doing. I'm too strong, too smart, too fast, too sexy for it to happen to me. It's exaggerated. It's government propaganda because the government doesn't want people using this and having fun. Yeah, it happens to other people. It won't happen to me. Did I mention I knew what I was doing? These are the rationalizations that addicts will go through, and the denial in order to use a substance which will eventually kill them prematurely and painfully. So that's bath salts, that's crocodile. Here's an interesting one. Kratom. Excuse me, I need a drink of my delicious, refreshing Evian water. Pardon me 1 second. Very good. Be grateful for everything you have, including access to clean water. Not everyone has that. Okay, anyhow, where was I? ADD. If I hit my head a few times, I can get the synapses in my right frontal lobe firing. Okay, my gosh. Kratom. Thank you very much. Kratom. Kratom is a plant, a leafy plant that predominantly grows in Southeast Asia. And the kratom leaves, when dried, into a green powder, light to dark green powder, or may appear yellow brown. It has effects which are very similar to both caffeine, that is mild central nervous system stimulant, and a weak opiate such as codeine or Vicodin. And this stuff, believe it or not, is sold over the counter in New York State. When I was in New York earlier this summer, I went into a convenience store, get some, top off the gas tank and get some goodies. I was amazed at what I saw behind the counter, bags of kratom. It's not illegal in every jurisdiction. They're selling it over the counter at this convenience store. I couldn't believe it. Anyhow, this stuff is used in Southeast Asia. Apparently a beverage is made with it. Kratom leaves are steeped in cough syrup or vodka, and then you take this and put it over ice and top it off with Coca-Cola, and you get this beverage which is both stimulating and relaxing and it will have mild analgesic properties, that is, pain relieving properties. There's not a lot of information known about this and its addictive potential or overdose potential, something to keep an eye on. What else? Nutmeg. Yes, nutmeg, the stuff you put in your apple pie or your cookies or cake. When consumed in large quantities, it has psychedelic properties. It gives an effect which users describe as both psychedelic and intoxicating, as in intoxicated on alcohol. You're going to feel like you're drunk and like you've used LSD. It has a delayed action. It doesn't kick in until about 8 or 10 hours after you've used it, and it has a prolonged duration of action. The duration of action is 36 to 72 hours, maybe even a little bit more. So it doesn't hit you for a long time, and you don't come down for a long time. It is not widely regarded as a pleasurable experience because it cranks up serotonin, including giving the serotonin receptors in your gut a lot to chew on. It produces nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. It's also possible you could have a grand mal seizure. Most people don't do it twice. People who do are called nutmeggers. Okay, and the last one, there are a lot more. This, I guess, is going to be part 1 of a series, is DXM, dextromethorphan. And DXM is the active ingredient in over-the-counter cough syrups. When taken in large quantities, it will induce a psychedelic experience. So that's a rundown on 5 more obscure substances that people will abuse. And I think it's going to be time pretty soon to make another video discussing inhalants and some of the other more obscure substances that are out there. So everyone, thank you for watching. Please be safe and hit subscribe.